Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at Viticulture. This is the Essential Edition, published by Stonemaier Games. It's a 1 to 6 player game that takes about 45 to 60 minutes to play, where you try to run the most successful vineyard. Let's go ahead down to the table here, and I'll give you a general overview of how the game plays, and then we'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. Alright, so this is Viticulture's Essential Edition. This is a 4-player setup, although you can play up to 6, and as low as 1 player. There's solo mode for this game. Now, in this game, you're going to be competing to be the first to get to 20 points. Once you get to 20 points, the game will end, and whoever has the most points at the end will win. Now, it is possible to get a little bit over that on your turn, but as soon as the round ends, whoever has the highest wins. So basically this game is a race. It's a race to 20 points. And there's various different ways throughout the game that you can get points. But to start out the game, you're going to randomly place out your rooster meeples, and you're going to get a blue and a red card. This blue and the red card shows you your starting resources and stuff. There are rules on here if you want to start out differently. I believe you get 2 meeples, 1 Grande Worker, just like this. So you get 1 Grande Worker here, and you get 2 regular workers, and I think you get 3 lira without using these. So here I would get that, and then I get 4 money, and then I could pick whether I want to automatically start out with this structure, which I'll explain those guys in a minute, and I do, so I'll place that down instead of the 2 money, and then I get a yellow and 2 blue cards. So yellow is summer visitor, or 2 purple cards, sorry, and 2 winter visitors, or 2 order cards. So here's the summer visitor, and there's the 2 winter ones. These are orders, so these are the main ways of getting points in the game. Is I am going to have to fulfill these orders, and if I do, I'll get 3 points, and I'll go up the residual income track. The residual income track's over here, and each time you go up to a maximum of 5, when a new round begins, you will get that income to start the round, which is pretty nice. So to start off the game, we picked a random order for these rooster meeples, and the first player here, who isn't necessarily going to be the first player, picks what they want along this track. If they pick this one spot, they will definitely get it, and they'll be the first player, but they could go down a little further if they want, and the farther they go down, the more benefits they get. Like here, they'll get one of the green cards, here they'll get the purple card, here they'll get the money, here they'll get a yellow or a blue card. Here they'll get straight up 1 point, and if they go all the way to the bottom, they get an additional worker, gray worker, for the season, or for the round, which is a year, summer and fall. So let's say I picked here, they picked here, here, and here. What will happen is yellow player is now the first player. You'll get your resources. Green will get this gray worker. Purple will go up a point. You actually start here, and you can get down to -5 points. And everyone else will get their cards. I will get another order card, so this is another thing that I can fulfill throughout the game. Now, I have 3 workers and a lot of spaces on this board. There's going to be the summer and the fall. To start out, everyone places what they want in the summer, and then once everyone is done, we go to the fall. You get the same amount of workers, so I have 3 workers that can either go to summer or fall. Each of these spaces have a limited number of spots. In a based on player count, more of these are available, but in 3 or 4, at least these 2 here are available here. And this spot here, you get a bonus. So like if I go here to draw a green card, I can draw a second green card from the first one there. If I go here to build a structure, I have to pay the cost of the structure that's on here, and we'll go over each of the structures in a second. I also get a bonus 1 money. I think they call them lira here. Here I can give a tour to gain 2 lira, and if I'm the first one there, I get a lira. For this summer spot, this is a yellow card. First one there gets another yellow card. Sell at least 1 grape or buy and sell. And that is, if I'm the first one there, I'm going to get a point. The value of the grapes, no matter where they're out on the track, is right here. So this is 1, 2, and 3 money. Now, one of the interesting things about this game is when you're placing down your grapes and stuff, you will place them on the value that you set, except for if it's full, then you go to the next one down. And you keep doing that until that's full. You also only have this part of your cellar available, so you can't make your the mixed ones or the sparkling wines here at all until you upgrade your cellar. And that's part of this action here to be able to do that. So those are the, you could also plant. So you can plant a green card from your hand. I don't have any green cards, so part of what I want to do in the game is probably going to pick up a green card. Now, these green cards, some of them have requirements. Like this one here is going to require the trellis in order for me to be able to plant. But when I do plant it, so if I was able to plant it in that first field there, I'll be able to get a 1 red and 1 white. Another really cool thing, which I can't, just so you know, I can't plant that because I don't have the trellis. But if I did have the trellis, saying, well, my first turn was to go here, I got that card. Second turn, I went and I actually need to buy a structure. I went here, and then I bought that trellis. And that trellis would go right here and cost me 2 lira to do that. Now, the trellises could grow vines on the trellises, so some of the special ones or bigger vines you can get on those. The irrigation, which I built right here, some of them require irrigation. Windmill, which is going to be this little building right here. You gain 1 point when you plant a vine, which is really good. You also have the tasting room, which is going to just indicates like a table that people can come and visit. You gain a point when giving a tour, so I can gain a point every time I give a tour too, which is really cool. There's also the cottage, which is this little guy right here, and the cottage gain 1 extra visitor card either summer or winter during fall. Draw them at the same time, so this gives me extra visitor cards, so that's good. Then I have the yoke, which is this little guy right here. Yoke, I can place a worker here as an action to uproot one of the fields. So we'll go over why that's important in a second. And then the last 2 is the medium and large cellar rooms. You have to do the medium one first, which is this little guy right here, and then you have to do the large one after that if you're going to do it, and that unlocks more room in the cellar. Because if these become full, you just lose stuff, so you don't want to do that. Now, when you're planting grapes and stuff in these fields, you'll notice that they have a max value. So this is 5, 6, and 7. This grape right here is 2. Okay, so there's going to be other ones in here. Like here we have a 4. So I can't exceed that value when I'm planting grapes. So in this field, let's say this 6 field, I could have this. And every time I harvest, I get those grapes and they go into my little crushers. And every round, at the end of the round, so the end of the round, everything will age. So these will go up. If I had any wines in here, they would go up. So in a nutshell, that is the summer actions. So that's the different things I can do throughout the summer. And again, this is just a brief overview of the game. I'm not going to go over all the rules. In the winter, you can take whatever you had left. In this case, I have the Grande Worker. Now, the cool thing about the Grande Worker is, let's say this space filled up. If this space is filled up, I could use the Grande Worker, set them down, and still do that action. So the Grande Worker is a way that allows me to still take actions even if they're full, which is really nice. So I don't want to hold on to the Grande Worker and use it when I have to. So in the fall, you're going to be able to go to these spaces right here. Here you could draw a purple card, and if you're the first one there, you get another purple card. And these purple cards again are the basically the fulfillment cards you want to be able to get points and residual money. Here, these are the fall visitors, these are the summer visitors, and these are your vines. So that's what the different cards are. Here you could get a fall visitor, and if you're the first one you get a second fall visitor. This here, you can harvest one of your fields. When you harvest your fields, your vines don't go away, you just convert those over into here. And again, if I had a 2 and I already had that filled, it would go down to 1 and I would have a 1 there. So that's how that works. If it's full, I don't get it. So I can go here and harvest a field. If I'm the first one there, I can harvest 2 fields. If I'm over here, I can make up to 2 wine tokens. So if I am the first one there, I can do up to 3 wine tokens. So the way I'm going to do that is simply, if this is a 3, that goes over to 3. If this is here and I have this a 2, it would go to 2, and so on. So here is a really good spot because I could pay to train a worker. And what that is just, that's the place that gives you extra workers. And I started out of the game with 2 workers. I have 3 more that I can get throughout the game. And here I can gain a point and fulfill one of those orders. When I fulfill one of those orders, I have to spend the wines or whatever that I need for those. Those get removed. And then I get, so here I need a 4 red wine and a 2 white wine. I would get 3 points. And I would go up on the residual track. So I would be up on here. And every time I go up, I go there. The final spot here is just gain 1 lira. That's available any season, all the time. So anyone can go there. There's no limit. Have fun. It's available. At the end of the year, everything that I have will age 1, including any of these wines, as long as it can. So if my storage cellar is here and I have a 3 red wine, it stays at a 3 red wine. Everyone retrieves back their worker. They get their residual money, and a new round starts. Play will continue until someone gets to 20 points. Once someone gets to 20 points, the game ends, the round finishes, and the person with the most points wins. So in a really quick nutshell, that is how to play Viticulture. And this is the Essential Edition. Couple rules variants that you can play within the game is you don't need to use these mama and papas if you don't want. You can just start with a set number of resources for everyone. That's probably the best way to start the game. You can play friendly rules. In friendly rules, the first person there doesn't take this spot with a bonus. And there are a couple other variants that you can explore throughout the rule book. Let's go ahead back up to the table here and I'll give you my final thoughts on Viticulture. So I really like Viticulture Essential Edition. I really like the worker placement aspect of the game where you have 2 different seasons and you have to balance out putting out your workers for the one season to leave workers for the fall season. And I really like that Grande Worker that gives you the ability to take a space that maybe someone else already took up, and so you don't completely get denied an action. You still have the opportunity to take the action that you desperately need. I really like that concept in a worker placement game, and I wish more games did that, but this game runs it perfectly. I love all the different decisions you have to make, and I love the order fulfillment portion of the game where you're going to get those orders. You're going to try to produce the wines to do that, but what you get that big order that gives you lots of points to get you bump you that 20 faster. Do you spend the time upgrading your cellar so you can have the more expensive wines to fill the bigger orders, or do you do a whole bunch of little orders? What do you do? How do you balance doing visitors, and how do you balance putting the vines down and producing the grapes and all these different things and all these that you need to do to build your engine to be able to fulfill these orders to win the game. There's a lot of replayability in the game. I love the blue and the red card matchups to give like a variable start for everyone for every game, so it's always different. Like I said in the overview, though, you can play with a set resources for everyone, so you don't have to play with those cards if you don't want to. And if you don't like that cutthroatness of the first person to a location gets the bonus, you can play the friendly rules and all sorts of different things. But in a package, this is actually one of the best worker placement games I've ever played. It's definitely, in worker placement games, it is definitely in my top 10. No questions in the bottom portion of my top 10. I would say probably about 3 or 4. But we'll have to say when I do the top 10 list for that. But I love Viticulture Essential Edition. If you like worker placement games, I would highly recommend checking this game out. If you like the other games in the Stonemaier line, this is no exception. It's an awesome game. Getting into component quality is amazing for this game, which is no surprise with Stonemaier games. I love the little glass beads that you get for the crushed, that you put over the crushed grapes and where you make the wines. I love the little wooden I don't know what you would call them, little wooden pieces for each of the things that you can build in your vineyard. The meeples are good, the board quality good, the card quality good. Overall, great production quality. Very happy with it. Nice insert comes with it. Just a wonderful, wonderful game that I highly recommend. So that's my thoughts on Viticulture Essential Edition. Thank you for watching.